Ever been at a baseball game, casually munching on your popcorn, when suddenly, bam, something happens so wild, so unexpected, it feels like you've just slipped into an alternate universe? Today, we're stepping into the diamond, but not for the usual home runs or strikeouts. Nope, we're diving into those jaw-dropping, did that really just happen moments that seem like a glitch in the Matrix. From unbelievable catches to quirky plays that'll have you laughing in disbelief, these one-in-a-trillion moments will make you question reality, cheer out loud, and maybe even hit rewind just to see it again. So buckle up because we're about to witness some baseball magic that you truly have to see to believe. Our first moment takes us to the heart of baseball history, a time when the legendary Pete Rose did the impossible, breaking a record that seemed untouchable. Pete Rose's legendary hit. On September the 11th, 1985, history was made when Pete Rose broke Ty Cobb's long-standing record of 4,191 career hits, set in 1928, which had remained unchallenged for 57 years. Rose's moment came in front of a roaring crowd at Riverfront Stadium. With a line drive single into left center field, Rose secured his 4,192nd hit, and the stadium erupted. Fireworks lit up the sky, and his teammates rushed onto the field to celebrate. Even Bobby Brown of the opposing San Diego Padres left his dugout to congratulate Rose on this monumental achievement personally. The energy in the stadium was electric, with fans cheering non-stop for their hometown hero. Marty Brennaman, the Reds' legendary broadcaster, captured the moment perfectly. The kind of outpouring of adulation that I don't think you'll ever see an athlete receive any more of. As Rose is lifted onto the shoulders of his old teammates, Tony Perez and David Concepcion, you can feel the weight of history in the air. It's a moment of pure baseball magic, one that still gives baseball fans goosebumps and makes them wish they could have been there to witness it. Now, just when you think you've seen it all, baseball has a way of surprising you with bizarre moments that only the baseball gods could orchestrate. The fastball that became a featherstorm. Let's travel to March 25, 2001, when Randy, the Big Unit Johnson, gave new meaning to the Prince song When Doves Cry. Known for his blazing 95-mile-per-hour fastball, Johnson winds up and releases a pitch that rockets towards home plate. But just as the ball leaves his hand, something unbelievable happens. A dove, unaware of the danger, flies across the field at exactly the wrong time. What happened next was so unexpected that it left both players and fans in shock. The ball and bird collide mid-air, and in an instant, the pitch transforms into a featherstorm, with white plumes scattering like confetti in the wind. The stadium falls into stunned silence, and even Johnson is left standing on the mound, shocked by the sheer impossibility of what just happened. This wasn't just a tough day for the poor bird, which clearly couldn't shake it off, but a surreal and unforgettable moment in baseball history. It was the moment when nature and sport collided most abruptly, leaving a mark on the game that no one will ever forget. And if you thought that was wild, let's dive into a moment where reality itself seemed to bend, when Doc Ellis pitched a no-hitter while tripping on LSD. Talk about seeing the game from a new perspective. Doc Ellis on acid. It's June 12, 1970, and Ellis, not realizing he was scheduled to pitch, had taken LSD earlier in the day. When he found out he was starting, there was no turning back. Despite the hallucinogenic haze, Ellis took the mound and delivered a performance that would go down in history. He pitched a no-hitter, one of the rarest feats in the game. Imagine trying to pitch a baseball while your mind is swirling with colors and shapes, where the ball might look like a neon dragon flying towards the plate. But somehow, against all odds, Ellis managed to hold it together, walking 8 batters, striking out 6, and not allowing a single hit. It was chaotic, it was unpredictable, and it was absolutely unbelievable. To this day, Ellis's acid-fueled no-hitter stands as one of the most legendary and surreal moments in sports, a feat so improbable it sounds like a tall tale, but it's 100% real. While Doc Ellis was dodging hallucinations, another player was pulling off a magic trick on the diamond, juggling 3 outs all on his own. The unassisted triple play. Some players dream of turning a double play, others, like Bill Wamsgans, dream even bigger. It was Game 5 of the 1920 World Series, and the Cleveland Indians were facing off against the Brooklyn Robins. The Robins had 2 runners on base with no outs, setting the stage for something extraordinary. Clarence Mitchell smacked a sharp line drive towards second baseman Bill Wamsgans. In a moment of sheer brilliance, Wamsgans snagged the ball for the first out, then stepped on second base to force out Pete Kilduff, and, in one fluid motion, tagged a confused Otto Miller, who was charging from first to second. Just like that, 1, 2, 3. The first and only unassisted triple play in World Series history was completed. It was a play so perfect, so impossible, it was like catching lightning in a bottle. For Wamsgans, it wasn't just a play, it was a legendary moment that added another unforgettable chapter to baseball history. Now, if you thought that was impressive, wait until you see what happens when a 46-year-old cowboy takes on a hot-headed rookie. Spoiler alert, it didn't go well for Ventura. From hot-head to knockout. In one corner, we have Robin Ventura, a fiery 26-year-old standing 6'1" and weighing 185 pounds. Ventura was a former 3-time All-American from Oklahoma State with a reputation for toughness. In the opposite corner, the seasoned Nolan Ryan, a 6'2", 170-pound Texas cowboy with 8 MLB All-Star appearances under his belt, was nearing the end of his storied career. The drama unfolded on August 4, 1993, when Ventura, still fuming after being hit by one of Ryan's pitches, decided to charge the mound. Maybe he thought he'd show the old-timer who was boss, but what happened next became the stuff of legends. Ryan, channeling his inner rodeo cowboy, grabbed Ventura like a calf and delivered a flurry of uppercuts that left the young player dazed and humbled. As then Texas Rangers owner George W. Bush famously said, "I'll bet you Robin Ventura wishes he never took a step to the mound. When Nolan Ryan turned around, he looked like a bull." This clash was a stark reminder that age and treachery can outdo youth and energy any day. It not only elevated the Nolan Ryan legend, but also served as one of the most memorable moments in baseball history. They say never give up, and the Boston Red Sox took that to heart in 2004, delivering one of the greatest plot twists in baseball history. 4-3 for the ALCS. On October the 20th, the Red Sox capped off an unbelievable comeback in the American League Championship Series, or ALCS, against their arch-rivals, the New York Yankees. After falling behind 3-0 in the series, the Red Sox fought back with a resilience that defied the odds, ultimately winning the series 4-3. But this wasn't just about winning a game, it was about erasing decades of heartbreak and breaking the century-old curse of the Bambino. The Red Sox's victory was a triumph over injuries, errors, and fluke plays that had haunted them for years. The hopes and dreams of an entire city rested on their shoulders, and they delivered in spectacular fashion. By winning the ALCS, the 2004 Boston Red Sox ended an 86-year championship drought and set the stage for their World Series victory. This moment was more than just a play. It was a historic milestone that redefined a franchise and united a city in celebration. Perfection in baseball is rare, but Don Larsen achieved it on the grandest stage of all. The only perfect game in World Series history. They say lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice, but for Larsen, he didn't need to. He struck out every dodger that crossed his path. In MLB history, only 24 perfect games have been thrown, a feat so exclusive that more people have orbited the moon than have achieved it. Yet, among this elite group, one achievement stands alone: the only perfect game ever thrown in postseason play. On October the 8th, 1956, during Game 5 of the World Series, Don Larsen delivered a performance for the ages. Facing the formidable Brooklyn Dodgers, Larsen retired all 27 batters in succession, securing a flawless 2-0 victory for the Yankees. This wasn't just a game, it was a historic milestone that solidified Larsen's place in baseball lore. To this day, Larsen's perfect game remains the only one ever achieved in World Series history, a testament to his unparalleled precision and skill on baseball's grandest stage. Just when you thought you'd heard it all, here comes Roger Clemens, fanning 20 batters in a game, not once, but twice, setting a record so high you'd need a ladder to reach it. Clemens' 20K game. At just 23 years old, in his 40th career appearance, Clemens delivered an extraordinary performance that would forever change his legacy. Facing the Seattle Mariners, he struck out 20 of the 30 batters he faced, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits and issuing no walks in a complete game victory. The game made Clemens the first pitcher ever to strike out 20 batters in a 9-inning game, setting a new standard for pitching excellence. But Clemens wasn't done making history. A decade later, in one of his final starts with the Boston Red Sox, he accomplished this remarkable feat again, this time against the Detroit Tigers. With a 5-hit shutout, Clemens struck out 20 batters once more, walked none, and threw 151 pitches in a masterclass of skill and endurance. These performances not only showed his dominance on the mound, but also contributed to his legendary career, including winning the first of his 7 Cy Young Awards in 1986. Clemens' back-to-back 20K games remain one of the 1-in-a-trillion accomplishments in baseball history. The shortstop is like the Swiss Army knife of the field, always in the thick of the action, but for Toby Harrah, the Bull had other plans, a full game without so much as a handshake. That's right, 18 innings, and not a single ball came his way. It was the baseball equivalent of showing up to a party and realizing nobody brought food. Shortstop doesn't touch ball. This oddity in baseball history happened on June 25, 1976, during a doubleheader between the Texas Rangers and the Chicago White Sox. Toby Harrah, playing shortstop for the Rangers, started in both games of the doubleheader. Incredibly, during the entire second game, spanning 18 innings, Harrah didn't touch the ball once. Not a single grounder, fly ball, or even a routine throw came his way. In a sport where the shortstop is typically one of the busiest players on the field, this was an unprecedented event. It's the only time in MLB history that a shortstop has played a complete game without the ball finding its way into his glove. While it might sound like just another quirky piece of baseball trivia, it actually highlights the unpredictable nature of the game. For Harrah, it was a quiet day at the office, 18 innings of anticipation, waiting for a play that never came. This bizarre record adds yet another layer of charm to baseball's rich tapestry of oddities and unforgettable moments. Just like that, some moments in baseball are defined by what doesn't happen. But then there are moments when a player takes the reins and makes something unforgettable happen, like Babe Ruth, who wasn't just playing baseball, he was crafting his own legend. Babe Ruth calls his shot. In the 5th inning of Game 3 of the 1932 World Series, Babe Ruth decided it was time to turn up the drama. With 2 balls and 2 strikes, he stepped out of the batter's box, took a moment to soak in the tension, and then, confidently, pointed center field at Chicago's Wrigley Field. The next pitch came, and bam! Ruth sent the ball soaring right over the spot he just pointed to, smashing a home run. It was like Babe Ruth called his shot in a high-stakes poker game and then laid down a royal flush. Now, here's where the story gets even juicier. Ruth was never one to shy away from trash talk, and that afternoon, he seemed to be in a verbal sparring match with the entire Cubs bench. Some say he wasn't pointing at the bleachers, but rather at the Cubs pitcher Charlie Root. And Root, he wasn't buying Ruth's story for a second. If he'd made a gesture like that, I'd have put one in his ear and knocked him on his ass, Root claims, clearly ready to call Ruth's bluff. But Babe, always the showman, insisted he called one of the longest homers in Wrigley Field history. Whether he was pointing at center field or directly at Charlie, one thing's for sure, Babe Ruth knew how to steal the spotlight. And even if the legend has grown taller than the ivy on Wrigley's walls, this moment still makes baseball fans grin from ear to ear. And there you have it, some of the most jaw-dropping, did that really happen moments in MLB history. Now, we're not saying that this list is the definitive compilation of every mind-bending play in baseball's long saga. Far from it. If there's an epic moment we might have missed, we'd love to hear about it. Join the conversation and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling baseball content. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. We'll catch you in the next one.